But the literal federal government of the United States is lying to every one of its citizens about the GDP and the rate of inflation. That's the end stage behavior. You don't lie about something unless it's burning down, and you know it's burning down, and you're trying to keep everybody from fleeing. That's back in the day when the U.S. dollar was the safest. That when it was the most inflation free, and there's always been inflation. Don't get me wrong, but you could literally make more money than inflation would eat up at a certain period of time. And Eric Weinstein, he calls this magical few decades, and it's never occurred in human history before. And I predict it'll never occur again. Just the perfect accumulation of different geopolitical and geographical events all came together to make America this place where their money was as good as gold. It was backed by gold for many decades, and then they stopped that, and that was the downfall of the U.S. dollar. And you see this slow motion train wreck from that started in 1913. It progressed in 1971, and it just kept going. And now we're in the end stages of the U.S. dollar. But how do you tell somebody who, your dentist friend, his parents were raised in that magical period of time when the U.S. dollar was as good as gold, and you could save and you could build wealth using that? But now that time is over, and that's sad. It's sad and it's heartbreaking. And for people who believe in America, the U.S. dollar is tied so closely to the story of the United States that it's hard for average people to tease out. No, the money's different from that belief, that set of ideas and values that is America. The money's not. That's not tied to that anymore. It's been that connection's been completely broken. And so your dentist friend's right. He'll never become truly wealthy, even though the average person looks at his salary and goes, "Oh my God, you make all this money." But your friend has realized, no, inflation is eating this money up faster than I can make it. I can't accumulate wealth. And so we're at the end stage of the U.S. dollar. And I think most people who study this sort of thing realize that. And what happens in the end stage of any currency is it's inflated out of existence, and the powers that be start to lie. The institutions that we should be able to trust with our life start to lie to us just a little bit, and then a little more, and then a little more. And so now they're saying, oh, the official inflation rate's 2 or 3%. Well, any human that lives in the real world knows that inflation is much higher than that.
Yeah.
It's 7 to 15%, depending on whatever. And so basically, unless you're making a 10% return on your money, you're becoming poor. But the literal federal government of the United States is lying to every one of its citizens about the GDP and the rate of inflation. That's an end stage behavior. You don't lie about something unless it's burning down, and you know it's burning down, and you're trying to keep everybody from fleeing. You don't lie. Why are they lying about this? This is easily provable that they're lying. Same goes for fiat medicine. They do studies now, and they compare one prescription medication to another prescription medication. They never compare it to placebo. They never compare it to, oh, let's fix your diet and fix your lifestyle, because fixing your diet and fixing your lifestyle would blow that fiat prescription out of the water every single time. And so they'll say, oh, this new medication is 2% better than that old medication. So we're going to get an FDA approval on that, and we're going to spend $100 million advertising it, and we'll make $1 billion on something that's 2% better than the old medication, but it's 10 or 20% worse than fixing your food and fixing your lifestyle, which is the real root cause and the real solution. Just like Bitcoin, that's the real solution, because, unless you want to go back to gold and silver, which there are many problems with that.